and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be filming a recommendation video. It has been a while. Besides my psychopath romance rec video I filmed a few weeks ago, I haven't filmed many recommendations, honestly, this year. I've done some reading wrap-ups here and there, but specific trope recommendation videos I haven't really done. I'm really fucking stoked though, because I'm doing a trope today that I haven't done before, and it's one of my favorite tropes of all time. Yes, I'm gonna be playing with my hair the entire time because it's just a fucking hot mess at the moment. I go and get it done tomorrow. I'm gonna get it cut because like the blonde has made it like snap off. I'm just having a bad time with the hair. I'm always having a bad time with the hair unless it's freshly done. So we're just gonna ignore that, okay? Ignore the hair. I look like a fucking pony, but that's fine. So today's trope is arranged marriage slash marriage of convenience. I love an arranged marriage romance. I don't know what it is about arranged marriage romances that I love so much. I think because it's just so uncommon in my world. Like, I know there's a lot of you, a lot of my subscribers, you know, you come from cultures that still participate in arranged marriages quite often. That's not the case for me. And also just marriage in general, where I live. Not many people get married anymore because like the divorce rates are through the roof, and it's like, what's the fucking point? Why do we need to spend $30,000 on a fucking wedding for a piece of paper? Like, I don't need to confirm that you love me through a ceremony, even though I still want to get married. It's just like, it's so uncommon these days. I don't know what like tickles my fancy about an arranged marriage, but there's just something about it, okay? There's just something about it. So yes, we're gonna talk about the Steam McGee. You know, all the steamy, smutty, great arranged marriage books. Some of these are my favorite books of all time, so that's a plus. You know what I get really excited about when I film like a recommendation video is when I own all the paperbacks. Like, all the books I'm going to recommend today, I own in paperback form, like all of them. So the first book I'm going to mention is actually a series of 4 books, and I'm on the last book right now. This is incredible. This was not what I was expecting. I love this so much. So this is the Filthy Rich Americans series from Nikki Sloan, and the first book is called The Initiation. Like, I'm talking crazy ass shit in this book. Like, it's fucking wild, and it's so good. So it's about this girl who's a little bit of a nobody, and she comes from quite a wealthy family, and her father works for this really big banking company, and there has been an arranged marriage kind of prepared and set up between her older sister and Royce Hale. Now, Royce Hale is the son of McAllister Hale, and they are just like rich as fuck, super ruthless, very cold. They just come from old money, old American money, and they run a lot of America through the banking company that they own. They've got connections to all the right people. They're very competitive. They never lose. They're very conceited, very cocky. Royce corners her in the corner of the library one night when they're having like a party, like a social event, and they end up hooking up. And she's just like out of her mind, so confused, like, what, as if you'd want me? Is this a ploy? Is this a part of a game for you? You told me that I was a nobody. You made sure no one touched me all through high school. Like, what the fuck? And at the end of him hooking up with her and giving her her first orgasm via someone else, he says, give me a year. Wait for me. So then a year later, Royce is getting ready to, like, you know, set dates and confirm his marriage with her older sister. But then shit falls through. He can't marry her older sister. So then his father, McAllister, says, well, we've got to marry one of you. You're going to have to marry this girl here. And Royce is pretty stoked about it because he kind of wanted her the entire time. Her whole life just becomes like a fucking mess. She has to change everything about herself, from her hair to what she posts on social media. She's now just not who she is. She's a future Hale. Guys, this is so fucking good. There's twists, there's turns, it's a little dark. There's a whole like kind of secret society underneath everything else. And there's also a little bit of a love triangle between her, Royce, and Royce's father, McAllister. Now, Royce is the pretty rich boy who is still definitely like a little bit cold, a little bit like nasty. He'll do whatever he needs to do to get what he wants. But he has this really authentic, soft side that he only shows her. Then McAllister, his father, is like honestly a cunt. Like, he is petrifying. He is so scary. He is so mean. He gets everything that he fucking wants. He never loses. And I think the main character is attracted to that, but doesn't want to admit that she is. It is so good. As I said, I'm currently reading the last book. There's 4 books. They're also really decent sizes. They're not too big. I love Nikki Sloan. Like, I've read The Pool Boy, I've read The Doctor, but to me, those were more like, I don't know, like kind of just like fun to read, like smutty reads, where this blew me out of the park. I didn't know that she wrote shit like this, and now I'm in it, honey. I'm in it. So fucking good. This one's one of my favorite arranged marriage tropes, but not only that, it's one of my favorite books from Ammo because it is honestly the biggest mindfuck of all time. So this is Crowned by Hate by Ammo Jones. So this is not your typical romance. This is a mindfuck. There's plot twists and turns at every corner. So Crowned by Hate is about this girl who is the daughter of the President of the United States. I couldn't get it out then. And she is kind of a little bit reckless and ruthless. Like, she just kind of does whatever she wants. She's really not reliant. Her family can't rely on her. They have to push her to be a certain way, to act a certain way, dress a certain way for the public eye, but she honestly just hates it. She has a situation in the past, a very dirty secret that kind of comes out throughout the book and bites her in the ass. And to try and save herself and save the image of her father, she has to marry this person who she has a dark history with. Now, as I said, this is a mindfuck, and even up the top here, Ammo has written, "Are you ready for the mindfuck of the year?" Bitch, I was not ready for this. I was not ready for this, but this was brilliant. And it's also a very quick, small read with a stunning cover. So this is a duet. So you've got Crowned by Hate and Crowned by Fate. So this is a continuation from the first book, and this kind of explains a lot and ties up the story and gives you like what you want. It's really underrated. I know it's a little wild. I know it's not your typical romance, and it is definitely Ammo style. So if you're someone that doesn't necessarily enjoy Ammo style of writing, then this book isn't going to be for you. But if you want something out of the box, super different, something that you've never really read before, something that's going to like be a page turner but also keep you thinking because you need to find out answers, and this duet is really, really good. Next up, we have Blame It on the Champagne by Fiona. So this is the first book in her new series called Blame It on the Alcohol, and obviously this one's Blame It on the Champagne. Okay, you get the point. It's fucking brilliant though. I love this book. There's one element of this book that I love outside of the romance, and it's the girl gang. The relationship that the girls have in this book, it's just like I envy it. I don't have friendships like that, and I just love reading books where there's really prominent like girl gang, girl relationships, like friendships. Anyway, so it's about this girl who comes from a rich family, and she is quite intelligent, and she really, really wants to be a part of the company, like the family business. And you know, she spent all her time in college trying to like educate herself. As I said, she's quite smart, intelligent, and she really just wants to break the stereotype of like it's only men in the business. And with her family and her family's business, the way things go is that she'll have a marriage with someone, and then the man that she marries becomes like the CEO of her father's and family's company, while she's just like the socialite. Like, she deals with like, you know, the luncheons and the like the social things and the charity events, but she doesn't want to do that. She wants to become the CEO. She wants to put her mind to work. She wants to be a boss ass bitch. So she like kind of brings this up to her father, but her father is so not about it. He's like, no, you will marry who I choose. They will become the CEO. And she's just not about it, man. She's like, you know what? I'm not doing this. So she meets this guy who is actually her father's competitor, but she doesn't know that. And he has like an agenda. He has a motive. And he kind of offers her, hey, why don't we go behind your father's back and we get married? To not only get her out of the situation that she's in with this other man she doesn't want to marry, but also to get him to the point where he needs to be to take over her father's company. But there is a little bit of a steamy catch. They have great fucking sex and it's enemies to lovers. She does not want to admit that she's attracted to him. He's cocky, conceited, like totally one of those businessmen that you're just like, oh my god. Like, you have a big dick and you know it. Like, big dick energy, baby. Yeah, she hates that she loves to fuck him. It's so good. Fiona's so good. I really, really enjoyed this book. I really enjoy this series. It's very different to her Voyeur series, but it's still just as good. It's just a little different. It's not as dark. So next up we have Don't Kiss the Bride from Carian, which is a marriage of convenience trope. Oh my god, this is one of my favorite books I've read this year. Carian, oh my god. She's so good. By the way, a lot of these are age gap stories, and this one is a really big age gap story. It's about this girl who is in high school still. She's 18. And this construction worker who's working on a house across from her school, who's in his 30s. Her car breaks down one day and he offers to help her. And as the story goes on, there's all these moments where he ends up appearing to help her, or she reaches out to him for help. And they kind of build this really strange but beautiful friendship. And she doesn't have many people that she can rely on in her life, but she can rely on him. She's unwell. She also comes from a really bad home. She has a terrible relationship with her family, and her mother especially. So he kind of steps in and he's like, hey, you need health insurance. You've got no money. You're sick. You can't live the way that you're living. Let's get married. It's totally not going to be romantic. You can come and live with me. I'll help you out with your health care. You'll have somewhere to live, and then once you're like set up and you're on your feet again, we can go our separate ways and get divorced. And that's what they do. But it is a battle between the both of them because they end up getting feelings for each other, obviously. And he doesn't want to admit that he has feelings because of her age. And she is really hurt because she's just like, I'm feeling all this. I know you're feeling all this, but you're not doing anything about it. Oh my god. It's so good, guys. And the sex is brilliant. Obviously, the sex in all these books is good. Like, I don't recommend books with shit sex. Okay, I don't. Because I love a good smutty scene. But there's just something about the connection and the build-up of this relationship. It is a slow burn, and it's so good. It's so good. Honestly, one of my favorite books of this year. This next book is also from Carian, and this is like literally my favorite book of all time. I kid you not. Carian is one of my favorite authors, and especially with this trope, she nails this trope. So this is Talon. This is a part of the Ashes and Embers series, which if you haven't read that, you really need to. I'm going to talk about it soon in another video. This is the most unique arranged marriage or marriage of convenience or whatever this is, situation, trope I have ever read in my life. So it's about this girl and this guy. Okay, listen to me. This guy's a part of this rock band. That's what the whole series is about. Each member of the rock band. But his mother is a romance author, and she's teamed up with a couple of psychologists to design and create this program and this experiment where people apply to be a part of this experiment. They go through all their details, who they are, their hobbies, what type of person they are, and then they tee them up with who they think they should marry. And his mother is like, I think you should join this experiment. I think this is what you need. You're on the hunt for the love of your life, but you keep just sleeping with groupies and they're not sticking around because of you. They're sticking around because of the fame. This girl's in this time of her life where she's wanting to find love. She's wanting to find a relationship. She's wanting to find a partnership, and she just can't find it. Every guy she dates, they're not interested. They're quite nasty to her because she's not like the typical attractive woman. So she sees this like experiment getting advertised, I think, and then she applies for it. So Talon and this girl end up paired up together and they get married. But baby, they do not like each other. He's like, oh my god, like you're small, you're a brunette, you've got no boobs. That's not what I want. I wrote that I wanted someone that had blonde hair, big boobed, long legs. And she was looking for someone that was like a suit and tie type of dude who like had a company or a business and was ready to settle down and have a family, not a fucking tattooed, long-haired rock star. It's brilliant, honestly. It's so good. The push and pull, the enemies to lovers. There's so much conflict between the two of them, and they really want this to work. So they know that they don't like each other, they're not attracted to one another, but they try their best to become attracted to each other and to enjoy their marriage and to make their marriage work. It's so good. I loved this. It was one of my favorites, and it's so funny because I had filmed a video at the start of the year about this book here. And Carian messaged me and she was like, read Talon. I reckon Talon will be one of your favorite books from me. So, you know, if an author is reaching out to you and is like, read this book from me, because I know your style and what you like to read this one. So I was like, okay, Carian, you want me to read this one? I will. And I did. And bitch, she was so right. This is my favorite book from her. Now, I know it's not a mafia video, but bitch, arranged marriage, I had to recommend a couple of my favorites. You know me, I am a mafia queen, so it's just kind of like, comes with the territory, bitch. I've got to do it. I've got to fulfill my mafia loving heart and yours as well. Here we have The Sweetest, Oblivion by Danielle. This is a series, and this isn't my favorite book from the series, but I know so many people that fucking love this book. So this is why I'm recommending it. And if you do read this and enjoy it, you can continue on and read the other 2 books in the series that are my favorite. So this is about this girl who is the daughter of the New York Mafia boss man. Okay, she's living her best. You know, she's living her fucking life. And then there's this dude called Nico. Okay. And there's an arranged marriage between Nico, however you want to pronounce it, and her sister. But her sister's heartbroken, bitch, because she's in love with someone else and she doesn't want to marry this motherfucker. And he is very, very attracted to her. So that's where that story goes, okay? It's a bit of a slow burn, I'm not going to lie, and there is mad chemistry between this girl and the mafia man, okay? And it's also kind of taboo because it's like they can't be together. They shouldn't be together. He's meant to marry her sister. So what's going to happen here, bitch? He doesn't want to marry her. She doesn't want to marry him. He wants to marry the sister and the sister's attracted to him. Like, it's a bit of a fucking situation. This is one of my favorite mafia reads I've ever read, and also this year, one of my top favorite reads. And this is the Hidden Truths duet from Nikki Ash and Webster. So he is Hidden Truths and also Stolen Lies. So the plot of this book is pretty crazy. Like, it's really intense. It is an age gap as well. So if you enjoy your mafia arranged marriage tropes to have an age gap, this one has one too. So it's about this girl. She lives in Italy and her father lives in Greece. Her father ends up in debt with the Greek mafia, and for payment, the head of the Greek mafia wants his daughter to marry her son. She is so upset by this because her father doesn't want her. Her father pretty much just delivers her to them, and then that's it. She's marrying this Greek mafia man with no choice. She is currently in a relationship as well, so she has to call it quits with him, and her life is pretty much turned upside down. The one thing that I loved about this book was her. She was a heroine that embraced her fate and really took on the role as the fiance of the mafia man, and she kind of just, yeah, like embraced her future, her fate, and became a boss ass bitch. He is hilarious. Their relationship is so steamy. He's very protective, very possessive. He wants to own her, but she kind of is reluctant to him because of the situation. She knows that she would feel a lot of feelings for him if they were able to get together on their own terms, but because of that, it stops her. There is a little bit of a love triangle as well with her and her fiance's brother. It's a typical like arranged marriage with a few twists and turns, and it's set in Greece as well, which I really, really liked because I want to go to Greece. Like, I want to do the Greek islands so bad. That was going to be my next vacation, like holiday place I was going to go before COVID hit and ruined traveling for everyone. So yeah, I was able to live my mafia Greek life through this book, and it was so good. But yeah, there's a lot of plot twists, and just the writing, it's just like so effortless to consume, and it's just like fast paced but also a little bit slow where you want it to be. And yeah, I really, really loved this book. Webster is such a good writer. Like, everything I read of hers, I never dislike. Even her really, really taboo books, I always love her books. And her co-writing with Nikki Ash worked out really well, and I loved this duet. It's really, really good. So that's it for the arranged marriage of convenience recommendations I have for you today. I am currently writing a list for another one. I really, really like this trope. So if you have any suggestions or recommendations for this trope, let me know in the comments below. I really, really enjoy them when they're not mafia. So if you've got ones that aren't mafia related, please, yeah, as I said, drop them down below. If you are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, bitch. Welcome to the fam bam. welcome. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I'll leave my most recent videos here on the screen right now, so keep watching me, babe. Watch the ads. Helps me buy more books. It gets me closer and closer to quitting my job. It gives me the opportunity to read more and give you guys more content. I hope you guys have a wonderful day wherever you are, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!